Well, I first introduced my next guest 21 months ago, and it's certainly been a whirlwind period following that introduction. I caught up with Chloe Famos and have a chat about her career in both harness racing and her stint with the thoroughbreds. Well, Glenn, sad news, the passing of Peter Carson. What a character.
Yeah, it is a sad day. I got the news about lunchtime yesterday that Peter passed away on Sunday. So, yeah, it was a little bit devastating.
He was certainly one of a kind.
Yeah, he was different. Yeah, he had a few nicknames, but one of them was the Nutty Professor, the way he used to like to keep his hairstyle. Yeah.
Glenn, as far as the trotting fraternity is concerned, the modern-day trotting trainer can thank Peter Carson for his devotion and his dedication as far as the trotter was concerned.
Yeah, in the late 70s, the trotters were dead in New South Wales, but as Peter come along in the mid-80s, and yeah, he's seen a niche there for the trotters, and he went and got a heap of them and got them going, and started having a bit of success. And as with his success, other people started getting trotters back, and yeah, it just took off from there, and it just kept going.
In those early days you mentioned during the 80s at Harold Park, there'd be 3 or 4 trotters and Peter would keep pushing and pushing, and most of the time he'd provide most of the field.
That's correct, yeah, it wasn't uncommon back in them days for Peter to have more than half the field. You know, if they had a field of 8, yeah, 5 or 6 of them would have been Peter's, but as time progressed, yeah, he still maintained that he'd have half the field.
Lenny had 490 winners, 804 placings throughout his career. A lot of those you were involved in.
Yeah, I was pretty lucky. I started driving for Peter in about the mid-90s. Prior to me driving him, a bloke called Freddie Thacker and Billy Hansel were driving him, and Freddie gave it away, and like all of us, Billy got a little bit long in the tooth. So, yeah, the next generation of drivers, Peter sought him out. There was me and there was Greg Bennett and Robbie Morris, yeah, so we all got to go on Peter's horses.
I can still see Freddie Thacker, and I haven't heard that name for many a year in those orange and red colours.
Yep, yeah, it's been a long time. I think I seen Freddie here about 2 years ago. He showed up one night just to have a look around.
And Peter started out in Nowra, and his funeral will be staged in that particular part of New South Wales, and he started out with Dennis Bale.
Yeah, that's correct. I don't know a real great deal about Peter's early history, but yeah, I do know that he was a big car enthusiast and he loved his cars, and from the cars he progressed to the harness racing.
He was also a very staunch supporter of the Bulleye Club.
Yes, he was. Yeah. He really pushed hard, and yeah, he dabbled in trotters generally, but he did have a few paces and he had a fair success. Coro's Legacy was one of his paces, and she went on to be a nice horse.
He had some outstanding trotters, as you mentioned. No doubt the likes of Lord Whizbang and Sophocles would be the best. Yeah,
I was unfortunate not to drive those horses, but yeah, they were good horses. I was pretty lucky to be associated with a horse called Cano Fame. I remember winning 2 races at Harold Park on a horse in stand and start events. One night we come off 100, and the following week we come off 110, and the horse was good enough to win both of them.
Some of those other horses, Glen Rosanna Hest, French Whiz, Western G, and also Rua Queen. He won an Oaks with that particular filly.
Yeah, most probably, again, another one before my time. But yeah, he had a lot of success, and, you know, it was down to the fact that he specialised in them, and, you know, with his success, other people from Victoria especially started sending their horses, and he went to New Zealand sourcing horses and come back and had a lot of success with those horses.
You did drive for him at a Redwood meeting one day with Precious Car, so unfortunately that didn't end well.
No, it didn't end well. I'd driven the horse in all the race starts. She ended up only having 8, and she won 6 and run second in the other one. She won the 2-year-old Trotters Foundation, and she was a fairly nice trotter, and we went down to the Redwood, and yeah, unfortunately she snapped a leg in the race and had to be put down.
And she's buried on the track?
Yeah, over the back straight, yep.
Well, Glenn, good to catch up with you. Unfortunately, with the sad news concerning Peter Carson, Valet, Peter Carson, and no doubt he's going to receive a big farewell because he was such a likeable character.
Yeah, certainly. There's not going to be another Peter Carson. He was very eccentric, and some of the things he done with his trotters, and yeah, people look at him and laugh at him, but he had great success. So, you know, like, even though they were a little bit off the wall, it worked for him.
Glenn, thanks for your time.
Thank you.